Well, folks, we are 2 for 2 when it comes to soul-crushing episodes of Monday Night Raw post-WrestleMania. I'm Ricky Ucchino, here again for Sportskeeda Wrestling, and I think I'm going to try and keep this one really short and sweet today because, frankly, I'm tired, guys. Mentally and physically, yes. I have 2 young children, that's not going to change for a while, but what I really mean is I'm tired of pointing out the same flaws and the same issues week in and week out when it comes to this program. WWE seemingly continues to make very little effort to improve this show, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the talent on the roster that is available to them and absolutely everything to do with everything else. So let's dive right into it, shall we? Here's what Raw got right this week and what happened that makes me want to stop doing these videos so I'm not contractually obligated to watch this show every week. We'll start with the positives, to which there were some. Charlotte Flair is awesome. Plain and simple. She is a full-blown heel again, and it is so damn good to see her back in this role where she really thrives. She cut another fantastic promo this week as she tries to position herself back at the top of the women's division, and we're starting to see a bit of an evolution in the Charlotte Flair character, including a new black and red leather robe that looks less like Ric Flair's and more punk rock.
Nice.
It also appears that we are moving away from her calling herself the Queen and now transitioning into the Opportunity. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. It might grow on me, but regardless, I'm digging the freshening up of the Charlotte character, especially her new-ish I don't give a fuck attitude. I want to see more of her on my TV screen. So, of course, when she attacked the referee this week following her loss to Asuka, Adam Pearce suspended her indefinitely. What? Whatever, he can't keep anybody out of the building anyway, so I'm sure Charlotte will seize the opportunity next week and find a way to get on the show. Alexa Bliss continues to be an absolute marvel. She is crushing this demonic persona that she has taken over in recent months, and this week we got more of a backstory on her new friend, Lily, and we come to find out that Lily isn't actually a new friend at all. Alexa showed some really great photoshopped images from her childhood, her actual childhood, where this satanic-looking doll could be seen prominently, and she told us a story about how Lily made her do bad things when Alexa was a child. The best line and the most meaningful one to me, though, was Alexa talking about how Lily hated him, meaning the Fiend, and how she does not like anyone in the women's Raw locker room. So there it is, folks. Not only did we get a very well done segment that legit gave me the creeps, but we now know that this new Alexa will soon be unleashed upon the Raw women's locker room like a plague, and I personally can't wait to see how poorly they book her as much as they poorly booked Bray Wyatt. Randy Orton had no clue who Matt Riddle was, but found him annoying, so he challenged him to a match.
What?
That legit made me laugh. More of that, please. It also made me happy to see that Riddle won this match by countering the RKO into a crucifix pin for the 1-2-3. Now, Randy Orton is bulletproof. This loss does nothing to hurt him, but the win means a lot to Matt Riddle, who desperately needed one after he lost to Sheamus at WrestleMania and then got crushed by Bobby Lashley last week. Mace and T-Bar were unmasked this week. Awesome! Hopefully that means next week that they'll show back up as Dio Madden and Dominik Dijakovic, but I don't have high hopes of that happening, and I'll tell you why in a few moments. And finally, Damian Priest beat The Miz this week, so that makes up for last Monday, and that just about wraps up the goods. So okay, let's dive into this now, shall we? We opened up this week's show the same way we closed last week. Drew McIntyre being attacked by Mace and T-Bar while MVP looks on. And he takes the big double chokeslam again to close out this opening segment. We then proceed to get a replay of said double chokeslam 3 times within the first 47 minutes of the show. Drew then challenges Mace and T-Bar to a handicap match. Adam Pearce says he needs a tag team partner, but he doesn't want one, so we get that handicap match anyway, and it ends in a disqualification, because of course it does. Then, for some reason, Braun Stroman comes down to Drew's rescue, because that makes sense, and wait for it, the match ends up being made into a tag team bout anyway, which proceeds to end in a disqualification when Mace and T-Bar are unmasked and literally beaten with their own headgear. Meanwhile, we can now clearly clearly see without those masks that it is Dominik Dijakovic and Dio Madden, and literally no one on the commentary team brings this up. Going back a bit here, our actual first match of the night was an exact carbon copy of a match we saw last week. The returning Viking Raiders beat Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. I can't wait to watch it again next Monday.
Another one.
Remember when I said Charlotte cut another good promo? Well, she did, but she got to talk seemingly forever, while Asuka and Rhea Ripley, who were also in that segment, were barely allowed to say anything. In fact, they both got one sentence apiece, and it was basically the same sentence. It is very evident that they do not trust Rhea on the mic just yet, as she is getting the bare minimum cookie cutter crap to work with so far, and that is going to do no favors in getting her over with the main roster audience. The women's tag team division, meanwhile, is an absolute mess. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler took on Lana and Naomi, and in the middle of an actual match, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke interrupted to show us not one, not two, but 3 goddamn replays.
Why?
Stop with the replays. Just stop it. And of course, by the way, this extraordinarily long distraction, I don't even know if the match continued during these replays. It caused Nia to leave Shayna high and dry because she was embarrassed about being embarrassed last week for some reason, and Shayna Baszler was beaten within seconds again with a double facebuster. Good for Lana and Naomi to get the win here, but this could not feel any more cheap, and frankly, this whole segment was annoying. How is it so difficult to come up with actual compelling storylines for your very talented women in your women's division? It's driving me insane. Elias beat Kofi Kingston clean as a whistle. No words. I literally have no words. Sheamus issued an open challenge, and an extremely jacked-looking Humberto Carillo answered the call, only to get his ass kicked prior to any match getting underway. I was actually looking forward to him getting an opportunity here, as he is really talented in the ring, but instead, it appears he just got punked out again. Guess they needed some kind of enhancement squash talent for this one. Poor bastard. And finally, for the second week in a row, no AJ Styles or Omos. Very smart to put the tag titles on these two and not follow up on that victory at all. We also didn't see the WWE Champion at all on this episode, while Jeff Hardy, Keith Lee, Mustafa Ali, R-Truth, Bray Wyatt, Ricochet, and Nikki Cross, all people who could have made this show much better, were absent as well. And poor Nikki Cross, by the way, she showed off some new gear on Monday on social media. She got me all excited that maybe she will actually be on this show, but nope. Apparently, she just got to wear that gear in catering, because why would you put an extremely talented and entertaining person such as Nikki Cross on your nationally televised show? I'm exhausted, guys. Just flat out exhausted. The few glimmers of hope each week is not enough to save Monday Night Raw lately. It desperately needs an overhaul, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon, at least not until fans are allowed back on a full-time capacity. But here's the thing, if you wait that long, you might not have that many fans that want to come back and watch your product. That's our video this time around. Make sure to give us the old thumbs up there. Also, make sure to subscribe to the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel for more content like this. Hopefully, this was better than Monday Night Raw. Plus, exclusive interviews. I have one up with Damian Priest right now, and so much more.